I want to ask you two very important questions. After you left the cruise that I was on with you, there was a big debate. Like, we had a bunch of doctors arguing about this question. I wish you had been there.
Oh, I wish too. I didn't hear about this.
It was quite exciting, but disturbing at the same time somehow, about oil. There was a panel, and I think you got off the ship by then.
Oh, I wish I
wish you would have been there. We needed you bad.
Yeah.
So what about oil? Is it healthy or not? My husband still doesn't believe me that it's not healthy. I need to hear it from Dr. Gregor.
Well, you need to tell your husband that you are always right.
Tell us.
No. So look, oil, even just on the face, oil is processed food, right? I mean, it's the table sugar of the fat kingdom, right? So you take something like a sugar beet, super healthy food, remove all the nutrition, you're left with table sugar, right? So same thing with oil. You take like a walnut, super healthy food, you remove all the nutrition, you're left with walnut oil. It has a little vitamin E, some of the fat-soluble nutrients, but basically you removed all the fiber, all the water-soluble nutrients. It's like, why would you do that? You just stole all that nutrition from your food. Unfortunately, it gets worse than that. It's the most calorically dense food on the planet. So there's more calories per unit volume than anything else. So it's very easy to get kind of these excess, relatively empty calories, and actually may adversely affect our endothelial function. That's the function of our arteries, the lining of our arteries. And so, for example, after even so-called healthy oils like extra virgin olive oil, which actually you can see some of the phytonutrients in that oil. So it's not, it's less refined than other oils, so still retains some of its nutrition. Even something like that has a kind of artery clamping effect, literally within hours of consumption, such that your arteries become dysfunctional, don't work as well, and that lasts for about 4 to 6 hours, and then all of a sudden lunchtime, and you may do the same thing to your arteries. Again, very similar effect to what you see with animal products. So again, processed foods and animal foods have these adverse effects. One way is through this arterial dysfunction, and so ideally we should try to eliminate oil from our diets. Again, doesn't matter what you do on on that cruise, as long as you don't do the cruise every month. I mean, no, look, so it's not something to be obsessive about, but in general, on a day-to-day basis. So, for example, we just don't have oil in the house. Right? But look, when we go out to a restaurant, of course they're going to add oil. They're going to add too much salt. They're going to, look, if you don't have control over your diet, you have as much control as you can possibly exercise. You can go to a healthier restaurant. You can choose some of the healthier options. But, none of them are going to be great. But at home, when you can wrestle power back over your life, and if you're not dealing with issues in the house where some people eat some things and not others, look, you could have a completely healthy household. You could have no junk food. You could have no salt shaker. You could have no oil. And if all you have is healthy stuff, if you get hungry enough, you'll eat an apple because that's all you got. I mean, you're not even tempted because you can be tempted, but there's nothing you can do about it. Right. Look, you're busy, type A. You're not going to run to the store. You got work to do. And so you'll eat healthy by default. The more we can make healthy options the default, the better.
Okay, one more question, and then I'll just shout out a personal thank you to you. I saw a quote online. You never know if a quote is directly from you, but I was curious about this. It was a bit controversial, so I want to check it with you. The quote said that perhaps you may have said that chemo kills all cells and veggies only kill cancer cells.
Say that again?
The chemotherapy would kill all cells and vegetables will only kill cancer cells. Does that sound right?
It doesn't even. It does not make any sense to me.
Oh, so that's
never
not you.
Something I would say. And what do they even mean by that? You mean like hitting them over the head with a carrot or something?
No, I think the quote was implying that chemotherapy is very dangerous because it hurts all parts of our bodies, or our cells, and vegetables and a whole plant-based diet really targets. I guess preventing disease? I don't know. You're the doctor. I'm not sure.
Well, no. I mean, look. I mean, we have been able to. So plant-based diet is the only diet ever proven to actually reverse the progression of cancer. In this case, early-stage prostate cancer. Actually, tumor shrinking, putting people on the same, plant-based diet that reversed heart disease, along with other healthy lifestyle behaviors. Exercise, stopping smoking, etc. So, but actual reversal, just like you got reversal with heart disease. So definitely, but look, when I'm talking plant-based diet, maybe it wasn't just the vegetables. They were eating fruit. They were eating beans. They were eating whole grains. They were eating lots of healthy foods. In fact, the only single food cancer progression reversal was actually done with a fruit, strawberries. I have this amazing video about the reversal of the progression of the development of esophageal cancer just by eating approximately a pint of strawberries a day. That is amazing. And so they had these lesions. I think in 82% of the cases, the lesions reversed. In about half the cases, disappeared completely. This was these precancerous changes in the esophagus. Absolutely amazing. Should have been front page headline news everywhere in the world. But of course, there's no strawberry lobby. Who's going to know about this? No one's going to send out a press release. But that was not a vegetable. Although they're very powerful vegetables associated with decreased cancer risk and extended cancer survival, like broccoli. Get your berries too.
Do you believe in chemotherapy, though? If someone is suffering with cancer, would you recommend chemotherapy, or?
No, it completely depends on the chemotherapy. There are certain cancers for which chemotherapy is literally a lifesaver, like childhood leukemia, like testicular cancer. Absolutely amazing, very clear-cut cases where you have a certain type of cancer. We have figured a way where we can wipe it out and you can live a normal life for the rest of your life. And otherwise, the cancer is going to spread. Odds are, and you'll die. However, unfortunately, for other cancers, there may be either no survival benefit or a very small survival benefit, and so it's given for palliation. Maybe it reduces pain if you have metastases in the spine or something. And so these are decisions that one has to make with the doctor, but it's critical that you ask these kind of questions. Wait a second, what is the 5-year survival rate difference between, how much more on average will I live if I do this, and what are the side effects? And then you say, oh, wait a second, I'm only going to live a month longer, but the 6 months I have left are going to be absolutely miserable. I'd rather live 5 months with a better quality of life potentially and not do the chemo. I think both of those options are entirely legitimate depending on your circumstances. If your child's graduating in month 5.5 and you don't care how sick you want to be, you just want to be there for it, then maybe the chemotherapy is right for you. But you need to discuss this with your doctor, and this should be a joint decision, fully informed consent. It's your body. You're the one who's going to have to deal with the side effects or the potential beneficial effects, and so you just need to go into it eyes open.
Okay, so Dr. Greger, we'll have you back, first of all, but before we go, I just want to mention the book is called How Not to Die, and I want to also mention your incredible website, nutritionfacts.org, with thousands and thousands and thousands of videos. I go on it all the time when I want to know. I get a cold, I want to know what to do. It says eat kiwi, I eat kiwi. I listen to your studies like the Bible. In my opinion, and I'm sure many others, you are a gift to this world, Dr. Greger, and I really am so grateful you took the time for me today, and we'd love to have you back to talk about what examples of some foods you eat and so on and so forth. I want to talk supplements, but just thank you for being the person you are. And I want to mention that nutritionfacts.org is a nonprofit website, and those thousands of videos that Dr. Greger does is just to give everybody the information. That is pretty incredible.